It's weird having the holidays on the weekends this year. It's like
Hmm.
it doesn't feel like they're holidays entirely,
Yeah, because I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah, because it's kind of like what I was about to do anyway. So I was
Yeah,
supposed to. It's just
right.
more people came over to my house than
Right.
normal.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what Denver's gonna do, man. I have some speculation, I have some ideas, but
What
man,
could they do? Like,
I do have a possible solution for them though.
is it Tom Brady? Your solution's
No.
always Tom Brady, I swear.
No, that is not my solution for them at
Okay.
all. Welcome back to FantaCTE. You can write in live. We can see you in the chat section. Tell us about your team. Tell us about your fantasy playoffs. Tell us what's going on. My name is Nick Masick. We also have Vital DeJuiced and Lonnie Cox. Welcome back, guys. All right. On today's show, we will talk about Tua's struggles, the Packers' slim hopes, playoff hopefuls that faltered. One coach falls. Who is going to be the next? A few underdogs that are surging, and the NFC South teams that are making pushes. All a bunch of wins for the NFC South. But first, why your team sucks with Lonnie Cox.
This is the week we've all been waiting for, Vital.
No.
Why?
There are worse teams. Come on.
Are there worse teams who have lost 4 games in a row in December? Let me just give you a little stat line for the Miami Dolphins yesterday. They outgained the Packers by 75 yards. They outthrew the Packers by 75 yards. They outrushed the Packers, and they doubled their yards per play. But they threw 3 fourth quarter interceptions and ended up losing their fourth.
I mean, you're saying they. This doesn't seem like a Dolphins.
Oh! So now now you're a Tua guy?
I didn't say all that. But
listen,
I'm just saying, if Lamar wants to come home, he can.
They have snatched defeat out of the hands of victory. They are most likely going to miss the playoffs unless, I believe,
we have to
win out. I believe they have to beat New England and they have to beat New York, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Buffalo is last, I think, aren't they? Oh, no.
We already played Buffalo.
I think it's New York and
in the Patriots
and New England.
Oof.
But man, what a classic Miami Dolphins move to go from literally on this podcast, us talking about them being Super Bowl contenders,
Tua being
Super Bowl front runners,
Tua being an
MVP candidate.
What?
To now,
what happened?
Missing the playoffs.
Oh God!
Listen, everyone has a little bit of a slide. All right, I still see the team is solid. Some depth perception issues are there, apparently.
What happened is he had another clear concussion that nobody.
That's what everyone's saying, dude. Like, because he was just missing stuff, dude. It's insane. The throws who are off.
So yeah, all right. So now they're saying he's in concussion protocol. Did you see when did he get concussed? Was it in the second quarter?
Supposedly it was in the second quarter.
I don't remember seeing anything obvious.
I didn't see it live, but I rewatched the play online that people were talking about. It looked like his head bounced off. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things. If you're prone to concussions, shit like that.
Yeah, which I wonder. He's had so many already this year, and he's already had the really bad one, obviously. So I wonder how long.
It's not that I don't believe in Tua's ability. It's his fragility. my issue, dude. That's a lot like.
I mean, rough.
He's got to not take hits. He's got to stop taking those hits. That's part of it,
Yeah.
And this is with their who's the offensive lineman?
Yeah.
Erstad, yeah. Like you think that would help, but yeah, holding onto the ball a little too long. I don't know. So if Tua is out, which by the way, concussion makes the picks a little more reasonable. Like 3 picks in the fourth quarter. That was a head scratcher. I was like, geez, man, dude, it was what happened to him? This is like not the Tua that we are used to seeing. Even in the other losses, he made some bad throws and some misses, but he wasn't making really bad reads in the other games. He was just missing some throws. These were just awful reads. So the concussion kind of explains that a little bit, I guess.
You hope so.
You would hope so. One would hope so. But that's neither here nor there. They got to win 2 games. And Tua's in concussion protocol. If he can't play this week, do you think they beat the Patriots?
No.
Hmm.
Bridgewater and what's his name are god awful.
Yeah.
They're just not there, dude. I saw them play that whole series, dude. They I don't know. Unless they've really been working while Tua's been back. But from what I saw out of either him or Thompson, they're guy no.
Yeah. Lonnie, what do you think? Can they beat the Pats this week? It's in New England, probably cold. I mean,
Is it impossible?
They
No.
can they can lean on the running game. You know, that's been Mike McDaniel's thing for a long time. He's great rushing attack, great running scheme.
But I think Miami's run game really only works because of the whole throw threat. You don't know if Tyreek is actually gonna go out for that jet sweeper. He's just running around to go back up, so you can't commit to like pushing up on him. Like, and now that kid, he can't hit Tyreek or Wilson on that slant. They don't have that connection. There's no way.
Wow. It's going to be a tough scheming setup.
Tough.
I just don't see it happening. The defense.
I mean, you know, but if I were in the Dolphins front office right now, I'd be a little bit more concerned about Tua's career. Like,
oh, sure, long term, yeah.
You know,
Well,
like,
I'm with
what
you
are we
there.
going to do moving forward for an option? Like, yeah, has Tua played very well this year? Sure, he has, but
Yeah.
I think we're starting to question whether or not he's going to survive the NFL for very long. I mean,
Right.
do you start looking? I mean, here's your question, right? You're in a win now situation, right? You have an Aaron Rodgers on the Miami Dolphins, like, you're going to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So do they pay somebody out, Tom Brady? Do they get Tom Brady next year? You know what I mean? Do they push, or do they start looking ahead for their answer for the next generation? I would say you do what the Rams did. You try to win now. You get your quarterback next year. You push for the Super Bowl now. You've got the team now. You're not going to keep them together forever.
Yeah,
this is the NFL. You know.
Yeah, I think that's what you do. But sometimes Ross's decision making, dude, he's so hard headed. Sometimes, man, it was just like when he signed Jay Cutler. He's like, "This is our guy." I was like, "Fucking stop, dude!" Like anybody else. Like, but I think he's committed to Tua, dude. That was a whole thing last year.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Tua retires if this is really bad. I hate to say,
I don't wish it, but
I don't either.
The team.
But you know what? Like, he could see a neuroconsultant this week and they're like, this is it. Like, you're either going to die of a fucking brain aneurysm or you quit playing football. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to be able to remember anything in 5 years? So if that's the conversation, he might be done. But yeah, you have to win now. You built this team. You got to go for it. And what options are out there? I could see I don't want a Baker Mayfield maybe, but the thing is this offensive system is so predicated on accuracy. But I wonder if the Rams, I don't know what Matt Stafford's contract is like. I wonder if Matt Stafford would be tempted for one more shot, because he does have the arm talent and the accuracy to run that team all the way to the Super Bowl for sure.
Well, I also think, why would Baker leave the Rams? I think Baker have just won the starting position yesterday, possibly.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
and not knowing what Matt Stafford's actual what his contractual situation is, he might be available. The Rams might be willing to move on from a big contract with Matt Stafford and looking at a rebuild that they are probably in right now. So even if Stafford's still under contract with the Rams, are the Rams really going to compete for the Super Bowl next year? Probably not, unless they make some major offseason moves. So there's an interesting option there. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's scary. It's unfortunate. It's weird. It sucks. I don't think they make the playoffs this year. It's just, I don't think it's going to happen. I like the Patriots. I like the Steelers. I like the Jets better than them if Mike White comes back in and starts. So yeah, I don't know. They're lucky though. They are lucky. The Pats and the Jets both lost. So that it keeps them in the conversation. On the winning side of that game, the Packers were big winners. The only team in the bottom section, the lower tier of the NFC playoff picture that won yesterday was the Packers. Everybody else lost. The Lions, who were super high on, got smoked by the Panthers. Who else lost? But everybody else lost too. The Seahawks lost. The Giants lost. The Commanders lost. So that obviously favors the teams that are already in the playoff picture, the Giants and the Commanders. But then the Packers are coming on. They got a slim chance. Do you think the Packers pull it off this year? They need a lot of help. They need to win out and a lot of help. And they're playing the
I
Vikings.
think if they win out, they need to win out. And then I believe either the Giants need to lose 2 or the Commanders need to lose 1.
Right. But that's also, they still have to beat the Vikings and the Lions, who are both have something to play for, especially that Lions.
Aaron Rodgers in a playoff push, man. I would not want to be on the other side of that.
No, they could definitely win out.
Like Aaron Rodgers finally being like, you know what, dude, I'm doing this on my own. Like I've led this dumpster fire of a team that you guys said we were done, that I should have retired, to the playoffs. He's like, I'm the fucking 2-time MVP. You know what I mean? Like 2 times in a row the last 2 years. Like, I think you guys forgot who you're talking to. I think you're going to see that the next couple weeks. I mean, you saw it yesterday.
Yeah, we definitely saw it yesterday. I think they can win out. I don't know. I'm excited about that Lions game. I hope that's a play-in game. That'd be really fun. That'd be great if that Lions game was a play-in game.
Another thing we saw yesterday is arguably the worst haircut I have ever seen on a man was Aaron Rodgers taking his helmet off. I was like, what are you doing, dude? Did you see his haircut? I was like, what is that?
The new one? I don't know. He's always.
It's like, I don't even know how to describe it.
All right,
like,
I'm looking it up.
He looks like a World War II veteran. He looks like Brad Pitt from what's that movie where they're
Fury, but with none of the swag, like none of the like. I was like, God, man, you look terrible.
It's weird. I don't know.
That's just what happens when you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars and no one's going to tell you that you look like shit.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Maybe I should go with that. Maybe I should get a little chopped. All right. So what else we got? The Vikings last second comeback, Giants. What is this? The Vikings and the Giants are this is just what they do. That was pretty wild. Do the Vikings have magic this year? Do they have the magic, the juice, the sauce to go all the way with this team? They got the talent.
I don't think to go all the way, but they're known for magical moments, right? They're literally the Minnesota Miracle, but they end up disappointing is the thing when it really matters. But they'll get some moments, yeah.
Do they win a playoff game with this team? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I think they could win one. Yeah.
They could be seeing the Packers or the Lions in the first round. Both teams.
I like that. I would like that for them.
They've struggled against both those teams. They just got clobbered by the Lions a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, dude, but like it's the same thing with the Buccaneers and the Saints that year that they won the Super Bowl. Like you want that. You want to lose your regular season games and then come to the playoffs with a little bit of fire. You know what I mean?
I do. I agree with that, but they're going to have a hard time if they can't beat the Packers because they're going to be trying to knock the Packers out this week. And if they fail to knock the Packers out this week, I think that gets in their heads a little bit. They're like, oh, if we can't get it done now, are we going to be able to get it done when it counts? I don't know. I think they need to knock the Packers out this week. I don't think they knock them out in the playoffs. I don't think they beat them. And the Packers are surging at the right time. So the other teams that are surging at the right time we were left for dead earlier this season, the Jags and the Panthers, both the Panthers did slide into that 4th seed. I mean, everything went right for them. And the Panthers just blew the doors off the Lions in a crazy rushing attack. The Jags need to win out. I don't know if there's another scenario. Like, can they lose? It might just be, I haven't looked at it, but I feel like it's going to come down to that Titans game at the end of it. Like, I don't know if it matters win or loss this week for both of those teams. I think it's going to be that game. Do you think the Jags get it done against the Titans with Malik Willis at the helm for the rest of the way? Are we going to see the Jags at the 4 seed home playoff game?
No, I think you're going to see the Titans. No, I think the Titans are trash. The Titans are done.
Yeah.
Malik Willis is throwing the ball like 5 times a game. You can't win in the NFL like that.
It's not. It doesn't look good, no matter what Derrick Henry does. All right, the Jags.
They don't have any receivers. All their receivers are hurt.
Yeah, everybody.
Like I don't think I could name you one receiver on the Tennessee Titans right now.
Are they really all hurt?
I think so. I mean, even if they're not hurt, I mean, I don't even know their names right now.
That's true. You're right. No, I know. It's like Westbrook Akine or some shit like that is their number 1 guy. If he's even hurt? I don't know if he's hurt. Yeah, I think the Jags are going to get that home field playoff game. And they're going to be
dumpster fire of a team too. That's another one that's just like, what a way to like just take
Titans?
yourself out of the top of the AFC in one season. You
Yeah.
know, just
I
a
know.
shame.
It's
Pathetic.
it's the AJ Brown effect, I think, in a huge
Well,
part.
no, it was that GM that they fired. He got rid of everybody. Yeah, right. It's the AJ
Is-
Brown effect, but I think that sunk the team. Right.
Yeah.
When they
Mhm.
traded him, I think around the locker room, they were like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like,
yeah,
I agree.
why would you do that?
right. He's such a difference maker. And then he's
One of the best receivers in football. Why would I mean, I don't even know who they traded him for. Do you?
well, it ended up being Treylon Burks. They traded him for a first round pick, which
Okay,
became
but like at
Treylon
the end of the
Burks.
day, dude, like you've got AJ
You were
Brown,
already
unless he's
trying
a
to win.
huge problem in the locker
Yeah.
room.
No,
you
he's
know,
great.
I mean,
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
but they fired the GM. He's gone.
Yeah.
And you can tell. I think the reason they fired him is because they Vrabel and him did not get along. You could see when Malik Willis was drafted to the team, like Vrabel does not vibe with Malik Willis at all. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like his style. I think that's my perception of it. But like, yeah, that is a pathetic fall from grace for the Titans.
Right. We were
talking about them for Super Bowl last year. Like they were knocking on the door.
Absolutely. They had the roster. They were poised to build it. And that pick that they used on Malik Willis, I'd love to go see who they could have had in that draft pick to help their team. But I'm sure they missed on somebody great who really could have helped them, going forward this year. So yeah, it didn't make sense. It's like they decided to rebuild before they needed to rebuild. When you've got Derrick Henry in his prime, it's like, don't do that. That's stupid. All right, what else we got? So Titans, we think the Jags are going to be in. I love that the Jags. I want to see the Jags in. I think it's going to be great for Jacksonville. They haven't been there in a while. They're exciting. They're fun. They could pull an upset. Very, very realistic that they could beat the 5 seed. Who's going to be the 5 seed in the AFC? I guess we still don't know that either. Is it the Ravens? Oh, the Jags. The Jags. I feel like the Jags always beat the Ravens. They have historically, even when they're bad, they beat the Ravens. I think the Jags we could see them in the second round against the top seed in the AFC. Carolina only has to win out to make the playoffs. And we talked about this a few weeks ago, like how ridiculous it would be if they actually made the playoffs. And now it's looking like a very real possibility. They have to beat the Bucs. I think they have to beat the Bucs this week. There might be some other scenario, but let's just say for argument's sake, the Bucs Panthers game this weekend is most likely going to be for the 4 seed in the NFC. Who you like in that game? Do you think the Panthers? This is a tough one. I think it's going to be a good game.
I don't think so.
No, you think who you think is going to take it home?
I just don't think the Panthers can win it. So who's up if they lose?
You don't think the Panthers can beat the Bucs this week?
No. I think that was just their running game was really good, but I don't know if it's gonna carry over.
I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a tough game. I don't think they're gonna run all over the Bucs. I think the Bucs run defense is much better than the Lions. Their whole overall defense. What do you think about that one, Lonnie? Bucs or Panthers? Which way are you going?
I don't know, man. I mean, they're right there.
They're both right there.
They're right there. I mean,
for as maligned as this division has been all year, I'm kind of excited about seeing either the Bucs or the Panthers in the playoffs, to be honest with you. The Panthers have started to put it together. Sam Darnold's playing good football. Their running games come together. Their defense has been better, although they just lost J.C. Horn, which sucks because that was a huge part of what they were doing on defense. That's going to be a big blow especially against the Bucs receivers. I don't know. Here's my take on the Bucs. The Bucs have been this, like the last few weeks, you've seen this, late comebacks. The Bucs are like a boxer that wears the opponent down by slamming their head into the other guy's fist. That's what they are. They're just like, I'm going to tire you out by hitting your fist with my face. And then
the Rocky strategy, right?
Yeah, the Rocky. They're the Rocky of the NFL. And then at the end, the defense is tired, and Brady goes into his hurry up offense, and then they can't stop them because the defense is tired.
Okay. Just like they drew it up.
That's how they're drawing it up. It's working surprisingly well. But that's all they've got. They're like these terrible body blows. They're just slamming Fournette up the middle for 3 yards of carry. And they're just like, we're gonna kick a field
Just grind them
goal.
down.
We're gonna wear you down with our face. And then Brady
knock out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I
Brady
guess
hits a knockout.
it works in fights.
It does. It works in fights. It's working for the Bucs. Can they do it against the Panthers next week? We'll see. Could it work against the Cowboys in the playoffs? That's because that's going to be their strategy. I don't know. Let me ask you. So if the Panthers win out, do you think Steve Wilkes deserves that job for Carolina? Does he get to keep that job? He's the interim head coach, took over a terrible situation. They traded away McCaffrey. If he takes them to the playoffs, I think you got to give him a chance as the real head coach. Don't you think?
I guess. I don't see why not. But also, what are their options? Who's coming?
I don't know. I mean, there's always options.
Oh, I mean,
there's tons
there's always options, dude. There's guys in college, like
there's coordinators.
There's always guys that want.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always people that want to play, that want to coach in the NFL.
Sure. D'Amico Ryans comes to mind. He's a big name that's a hot candidate right now, and he would be a good fit over there, I think. But I don't know, man. I feel like this is this a coach of the year candidate for the Panthers if they make the playoffs? I feel like he should be in consideration. It's doing the most with the least. That's what coach of the year is, right? Let's see what else we got. Bucs, Panthers, Jets are expected to drop Zach Wilson. No shock there. At the end of the season, somebody will pick.
He was the number 3 pick last year.
Number 2 pick.
Last year.
Trevor Lawrence's year. So 2 years.
So 2 years ago.
2 years.
Wow, that's fast. That is a fast.
2 and done. Yeah.
That's right on schedule for the Jets, though. So I mean, in a couple of years,
but it's not. I mean, the
stud.
Jets, yes, I guess, but like Mark no. I mean, no, man. Like the Jets, like there's just like bad quarterbacks in good situations sometimes that, like, sometimes guys don't get a chance because they're on shitty teams and like their teams do them wrong. But sometimes like guys get on teams where they make the rest of the team look like shit, but they're the problem.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the last couple of years we were like, oh, the Jets suck. It's not Zach's fault. But then fucking Joe Flacco would come in. Mike White really was the nail in the coffin.
Mike White is the nail in the coffin.
Like Mike White, this guy that was like I think he like said he wasn't going to go to the hospital. Like he really got the team on his back multiple times. And then they're like, well, bye-bye, Zach. Sorry.
Yeah, right. And that doesn't mean Mike White's going to be the starter, but he's certainly a very legit.
No, but he has legitimized himself as a Ryan Fitzpatrick type, I think, for years to come.
Yeah,
where he will be a solid backup for years in the NFL.
Absolutely, he'll win a handful of games.
Correct.
He might be a stopgap measure at some point. Who knows? He could have a Geno Smith moment at some point down the line as well. So that begs the question: what are the Jets going to do at quarterback? Which I already floated the Geno Smith idea. I love that. Let's just be poetic.
No, Geno's staying in Seattle, dude. He
probably is. If they're smart, he's staying in Seattle. How about this as a scenario? Because the other thing is that the Broncos just fired their head coach. They're stuck with this Russell Wilson contract, which means how are you going to attract a new head coach with Russell Wilson under contract? Let me just float this idea at you. Let's say the Broncos agree to like split the contract with some other team in a trade, like a trade. I don't know how that works, but they can eat part of the contract and unload Russ to be able to attract a new head coach that's willing to rebuild.
I mean, I would imagine they would much sooner cut Russell Wilson because you're not going to find a team that's going to eat that contract. No way.
No.
Nobody's.
They would have to. The Broncos would have to eat part of.
But why not just if they're going to do that, then just cut them?
Because they still have to eat the contract. They have to eat the whole contract.
If you cut them, I don't think you have to pay the whole contract. If you cut them, there's a penalty that you pay.
Their cap hit is ridiculous. It's really high. It's not good at all. They would hamstring. So then you're dealing with a cap hit for your new head coach coming in also. Like it just fucks them over no matter what. What about Russ to the Jets? Give him one little chance there. He doesn't have to do a whole lot. Robert Saleh is a really solid coach. Any weirdness, I feel like that team would he would be able to mitigate, you know.
I don't think Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson kind of has a LeBron complex. Like I think Russ is going to go to a team that he can control. Right?
I
don't
think he's going to get that option. I think he's either
right. So I think he'd rather retire.
Do you really? I don't know, man.
Then go to a team where he has to be no, I think he wants to be in control. That's why he chose Denver.
I think
played himself. Yeah,
I think he's played himself out of that option now. I think he wants redemption. I think he'll want a redeeming year.
I don't think he does. Why does he care, man? He has a bunch of money and Sierra.
And a Super Bowl.
Maybe he's gonna go out like what's his name, Matt Ryan.
I think he does care. I think he's the kind of guy who cares what people think. That's why he does the weird shit that he does.
I think that's the opposite. I think he's doing high knees because he's so oblivious, dude. He's on the plane.
I agree with Vital. I think he's oblivious.
Yeah,
I think he is. I think he is like an egomaniac. Would be my assessment of him. Didn't you hear that thing where like Richard Sherman and somebody else? I think it was Camp Chancellor. Somebody were on a podcast. And they were talking about, man, if that was me, I would reach out to Russ and I'd talk to him. And Richard Sherman was like, yeah, well, we tried to do that too, but I don't want to have to deal with his agent. And you couldn't talk to him directly.
Oh, wow.
Did you guys you didn't see that clip?
I've never heard
that. They said that you couldn't just pick up the phone and call Russ. Like you had to go through his people to have him contact you.
That's so insane. Weird.
Very weird.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
The guy I see 5 times a week. That's how crazy.
Right. Jesus. Yeah, like I think they were saying something like that they wanted to talk to him about something and they couldn't get to him.
That's
to go through his people.
That's just crazy for like your Super Bowl buddies to not be able to get a hold of you. That's nuts, dude. That's insane. All right. Well, all right. So instead of doing this is going to be an interesting one. Instead of doing over under, we're going to do let's pick them this week. All right. Who for the first one? Who do you think is going to have more career starts going forward, Tua or Russ?
Tua.
I would say Tua.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the Dolphins are going to give up like on
No,
Tua.
they're not going to give up on him. No, he's going to die on the field.
Most likely. I agree. I don't want to see it, but like I think this is what's going to play out.
Also a factor. Does he get do you think, is Russ going to play after this year? Is this going to be it for him? What about the Colts? Colts always want to drive the quarterback into we were talking about them.
I think he might play.
No one is going to trade for Russell.
Not the whole year.
No one's going to trade.
No one is going to trade for him.
Yeah, no way. He'll play in Denver again, but eventually it's going to be a Matt Ryan thing where enough is enough. Like
will do. I would say he's going to do 2 more seasons in Denver, and he'll be and they'll cut him.
What 2 more? Wow, that's a lot. But what are they going to do?
He's on the hook for 7 more years.
Wow. What about the head coach?
I thought it was 5. Ooh,
no, I think it's like 6 more years or something like that. It's till like 2030. It's insane.
So what are they going to do at head coach then? How are they going to get a head coach to go? Man, Jesus, that's rough, dude. Like, how are you going to talk?
Is Russell Wilson? Didn't he win a Super Bowl when I was in high school?
Yeah, he's like 30.
No, he won it like 2012, 2011, and he was a rookie. But he was old. Remember, I think he was a little bit older.
He's an older rookie. He's a 5th year senior, I think. He was like in his mid-20s.
Either a 5th or a 6th year senior. He stayed a while.
He did an extra year at Wisconsin because of his eligibility. So
he's 34 now.
He's 34.
Yeah, we're talking 40 years old. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be that's the I feel like the Broncos are just gonna be bad forever. Remember though? Do you guys remember that?
But that's how it works, dude. That's why teams suck, because they make bad deals. They sign coaches that suck. Like they, like John Elway is fucking ruining them. Like he got high on his own hog with the Peyton Manning signing.
The Peyton deal. Yeah.
Ever since then, dude, it's just been
Jim Jones effect, bro. You win one and it's over.
Also, you're seeing like there's not that many good coaches in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like there's maybe like 10, 15 guys at any one given time that are like solid coaches.
Yeah.
Sure. Right. All right. Let's do another pick 'em. So we already did the Bucs Panthers. Who's the next coach to fall? The Cardinals or the Raiders? I don't think
they say the Cardinals are already moving away from him.
Yeah, but it's not official yet. So are the Raiders going to give Josh McDaniel another year? I kind of think
This is his first year, right?
This is first year. Big contract too. Big, I feel like they're going to give him another year.
I think he gets one more year.
So do we think the Cardinals and I guess the Saints coach, but they're still in the playoff mix potentially.
I mean, what about Lovie Smith?
Lovie Smith with the Texans?
Houston? Yeah.
Houston's? Yeah. I don't know. I think they might give him another.
They're just a fucking embarrassment.
Yeah, but I don't think it's his fault. I think that's a roster situation. Who do you think the next one is? Do you think it's the Cards?
I've also heard that Sean McVay might retire.
Retire?
Yeah, I've heard that he's considering taking a step back.
Not long term. I
heard he's thinking about taking it. Like,
that's interesting.
Resigning.
Yeah, he'll come back. I think for sure if he does.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those guys. He'll go make millions and millions of dollars on ESPN for 5 years, and then come back and coach the Raiders. You know?
Right. Yep, and fail miserably with the Raiders. He could be the guy to turn the Raiders around at some point. But I think they're going to give what's his name another chance. All right, let's get to worst quarterbacks of the week. We already talked about several of these guys. Lonnie, your pick was Baker Mayfield. Who was
I can't help it. He got me 30 points for Tyler Higbee, man.
Dude, I know. I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, listen, Lonnie's not really complaining about this.
I'm right there. Right there. One more week, baby. One more week.
You're in pretty good shape. Vital, yours is still pretty tight. Your matchup is still pretty tight with
but you got another week. We got one more
another week.
Although I would like to cast my a petition to cancel the 2-week championship and just go ahead and end it tonight. Would be great for me.
Not this year. Maybe next year.
No. I like the 2-week thing.
2 weeks fun. I feel like it's good. It keeps it going a little bit.
I need if I can get like 20 from Austin tonight.
Yeah, you need that. That's for sure.
If you could get 19 for Austin, that'd be ideal for me.
I think I'm gonna be all right, dude. I think I'm gonna be all right, unless what's his name has the biggest week of his year next week. Should probably be all right.
Yeah. I think you'll be all right. I think you look very solid at the championship. Vital, yours is very much up in the air. So Lonnie, you took Baker Mayfield, 19.4, huge beneficiary of Russell Wilson throwing it to the other team. But Baker did okay in a bounce back game. So you're going to have the first pick. I got Desmond Ridder, a respectable 7.52 from the rookie, and Vital with the best pick of the week, Trace McSorley, 3.08. I would have taken him if you hadn't. So good job there. And he's not playing this week. So, Lonnie, you get the first pick there. We were already looking at some of these. There's some very interesting picks this week.
I got it locked up, but tell me who you think.
I just think there's some question marks because I think there's players who we don't know if they're going to play. There's a lot of teams that are like, is this guy going to be in? Is he going to be out? But we're looking at Malik Willis. I figured Desmond Ridder again. Those are the top guys, I think. Who are you going with?
Let me see. Actually, let me see what Malik Willis is looking like.
Oh, you weren't even thinking about Willis, huh?
I was not. Oh, versus Dallas.
Yeah. He's a runner, though. But
dude, I know.
He's a runner. That's always because they're gonna run the option with him and Derrick Henry. And when he keeps it, he's gonna be ripping off rushing yards. That's the only thing that worries me slightly. But still pretty good.
Malik Willis is a great pick. I was looking at Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle.
Oh, see, I feel like we talked about this. I feel like that as soon as one of us picks Andy Dalton, they're going to start Jameis Winston.
No, I say do it. Go for it.
But you are also falling back to the pack a little bit. You're at 38. I think I'm at 31. Vital's at 30 right now. So DraftKings is also huge tonight. But you're not quite.
All right, I'm going to take Malik.
You're going Malik Willis? Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a pretty solid pick. I'm right behind you with, let's see, who do I want? I'm going to go with Ridder again.
All right. I'm going to go with, who's Ravens? Skibby Hutchins? Oh, no. What's his name?
Huntley. Right?
Huntley. Yeah,
Huntley. Is that for sure that he's definitely playing? Do you know for sure?
No, let him.
Hold on.
I just like making him sweat.
Listen, on the first day of Kwanzaa, this is your behavior, Lonnie.
I'm just mad that Hanukkah's over.
I think he's starting.
Okay.
We'll just have to see. All right, hold on. Hold on.
I just like watching Vittel squirm over it because he's been burned by so many quarterbacks.
I probably should go with something just definite, right? Who's starting at the Texans?
We don't know. That's
pick Davis Mills and watch.
sure. Yeah. Who the hell knows?
Another one.
We never know who's starting for the Texans ever. I'll tell you who's probably starting for him next year. Probably going to be what's his face?
Bryce Young.
Oh man, all right. I don't know, man.
That'll be fun to watch him go 4-13 with Bryce Young.
Yeah, and have Bryce Young be like -2, -2, -2, 41, 6, 12, -4.
Screw it. I'm gonna go with Huntley, man. I don't know what to do. It's
all right. Tyler Huntley. Okay, we got some real bad quarterbacks this week. This should be good. We're gonna have to start picking good quarterbacks pretty soon because as soon as we get to the playoffs, it's gonna be a whole different ballgame. Okay, who'd you guys got for? We already talked about what you need for tonight. I'm only in it in one league left, and I'm already locked in for the championship in that league. I don't need any.
Like you won the championship?
I'm in the championship. I've
You're
already. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Tonight's game is irrelevant. Got that like one of the highest scores of the league, and it's the league. It's one of the few. It's the only redraft league where I didn't win the points championship, but I'm in the championship, so that's nice. It's my cousin's league. I've been dominating them for like 5 years. All right. What do you guys got for who are you picking tonight? First of all, Chargers. We all in the Chargers? Yeah. And who is your DraftKings captain? Who'd you guys take?
Eckler, sadly.
Mr. Muscle.
Eckler. We're all on Eckler again, same as last week. So it's going to be the other guys. I'm sure you guys picked 3 kickers each. So
I did.
Did you pick your backup?
It's a good strategy and it works.
It is a good strategy. It's a great strategy.
They're cheap. They're
gonna
low
get 9
value. They
points.
score 8 to 12 points some games for like $3,000, and then I can double stack stud receivers, dude. Unless one of your cheap guys pop, it's like the best value.
All right, they're getting more expensive. I've noticed that they're getting more expensive.
People are catching on
because people are using them. So it worked well for me last week. We'll see what happens this week. All right, Lonnie, have fun at the Heat game, dude. Oh, and you guys have any shows coming up? Any holiday weekend shows?
Wednesday, I am at the final version of the Last Call comedy show at the B Culture Brewing, so I will be there.
Okay, cool. Vitaly, you got anything this week? Anything coming up?
Nothing coming up. No.
Me too. Just chilling this week. All right, sounds good. I'll see you
All
guys.
right, guys.